Out on Don Henley's Texas ranch, the lake is so still at sunrise it reflects the sky like polished glass, a quiet luxury he has guarded for decades. And today you are stepping straight onto this land to see the home he built far from the spotlight. The rooms, the treasures, the wide-open acres, and the life he lives beyond the stage. Let us walk inside and explore everything he calls his sanctuary. The story begins in the soft light of a Texas morning in the small town of Gilmer in 1947, where Donald Hugh Henley entered the world without fanfare. He grew up in nearby Linden, a place where pine trees whispered through the summers and life moved slowly. As a boy, he tried football, hoping to blend in with the rhythm of the town, but his small stature forced him to step away. That quiet exit opened the first real door of his life. He walked into the school band room and found the percussion section waiting for him. The sticks, the rhythm, the pulse, they became his language. By high school, he had joined a group of local musicians who called themselves the Four Speeds. They rehearsed in garages and small rooms, chasing the sound of something bigger than their surroundings. He wrote a song named Hurtin', and the band changed its name to Felicity, then to Shiloh. The single caught the attention of Kenny Rogers, who began to guide them toward a more serious path. Even then, Don had the sense of someone who understood that music could be more than noise. It could build a life. After high school, he tried college, first at Stephen F. Austin State University, then at Texas State University, but neither campus could quiet the growing pull of music. Shiloh eventually collapsed under the weight of adulthood, and Don moved to Los Angeles with little more than hope and determination. That was where he met Glenn Frey, and that meeting changed the entire direction of his life. They joined Linda Ronstadt's backup band, and during long rehearsals and longer nights, an idea formed. They would build their own group. They brought in Randy Meisner and Bernie Leadon, and the Eagles took flight. The rise was fast, but not careless. Take It Easy, Desperado, Witchy Woman, Hotel California, Life in the Fast Lane. One by one, these songs pushed the Eagles into the center of American music. Don did not just play drums. He shaped stories, wrote lyrics, and carried the weight of lead vocals on songs that would define entire decades. Life moved loudly, quickly, and sometimes painfully. In 1980, after endless touring and increasing conflict, the band burned out. They separated, unsure if they would ever stand together again. The quiet after that storm was both frightening and necessary. Don entered a stretch of creative uncertainty, a kind of personal unemployment, where he had to rediscover who he was without the band. But out of that pause came his solo career. Leather and Lace, Dirty Laundry, The Boys of Summer, The End of Innocence. These songs rebuilt his voice and earned him Grammy Awards, renewed respect, and a new understanding of resilience. The success did not erase the past, it strengthened it. When the Eagles reunited in 1994, it felt like stepping back into a familiar room with new light. They toured, recorded, healed old wounds, and eventually released Long Road Out of Eden. Through all of it, Don remained the steady force at the center, the storyteller who turned restlessness into melody. And through every rise, every fracture, and every return, Don Henley carried the same truth he learned back in that quiet Linden band room, that music is not just a career, it is a compass. It is the force that shaped his fortune, his purpose, and the life he built far from the spotlight's noise. And to understand the man behind the music, you have to step onto the land where he found his calm, the Texas ranch that became his refuge and quiet center. Let us walk through it. Texas Ranch. Inside Don Henley's quiet sanctuary in the piney woods. Nestled deep in the piney woods of northeast Texas, the main house at Buck Creek Ranch appears the moment you turn off FM 130 and follow the gravel drive into the trees. The ranch stretches across more than 580 acres of pines, creeks, and a shimmering 29-acre lake. but this 3-bedroom, 1.5 bathroom home remains its quiet heart. A 2,500 square foot retreat built for stillness, memory, and the kind of peace only land like this can offer. The long entrance sets the scene. Gravel crackles under the tires, the sun warms the scent of pine needles, and wide-open space gradually narrows into a shaded tunnel. Then the house reveals itself, stone, weathered wood, and soft earth tones blending seamlessly into the forest. It is not a mansion shouting for attention, it is a home shaped by respect for the land, a place where simplicity feels intentional, not lacking. The garden surrounding the front path grows in a gentle, unforced way. Ferns curl beneath tall grasses, wildflowers rise in small clusters, and the soil carries the same richness tended by families who lived here more than a century ago. This is where countless mornings have begun, where he walked with coffee and breathed in the sound of Buck Creek moving somewhere beyond the trees. The deeper you stand in this space, the more the land feels alive. Inside, the foyer opens with warmth and the unmistakable character of Texas pine. The walls are lined with wood harvested from the ranch decades ago, each board holding its own knots, grain, and story. Soft lighting washes over deep browns, light sand tones, and a display of framed moments, family faces, black and white music days, a lake sunrise frozen in stillness. From here, the living room flows forward in an open sweep of natural light. Large windows span the western wall, framing the towering pines like living artwork that shifts with every wind. The space carries the classic soul of a ranch: wide plank floors, a stone fireplace built from local rock, and a calm mix of leather, wood, and cotton that invites you to sit without hurry. On the mantel rests a small carved mule, honoring the teams that once dug the original lake in 1929. Many evenings, Don sits here with a guitar resting against the armchair, letting melodies drift into the room as quietly as the fire crackles. The kitchen continues the grounded warmth. Cedar cabinets release a faint, clean scent. Reclaimed wood counters show the familiar wear of long use, and a sturdy gas stove anchors the room. Sunlight pours through the window above the sink, washing the room in gold at daybreak. This is a kitchen built not for show, but for life. Simple breakfasts before walking the land, unhurried family dinners after long days, and the steady rhythm of a home that has never needed extravagance to feel full. Down the hallway, the bedrooms shift into a quieter, more intimate warmth. Soft light filters through the tall windows and blue curtains, settling over the simple cotton quilts. Two beds sit side by side, calm and unpretentious, with a small wooden table holding a lamp and a few everyday items. It is a room meant for rest, modest, warm, and shaped by the quiet rhythm of ranch life. The guest rooms retain the same simplicity, sunlight filtering through sheer curtains, glimpses of treetops, and a sense of calm that surprises anyone who comes expecting glitz or ostentation. Instead, they find a home built on humility, patience, and deep roots in the land. Toward the back of the house, the entertainment area opens wide. It is not luxurious in the modern sense, no polished marble, no dramatic lighting, just comfort. Overstuffed couches, shelves stacked with books and vinyls, and another large window overlooking the grounds. This room has held late-night talks, quiet listening moments, and the kind of unexpected inspiration that comes without planning or noise. Step outside, and the air shifts again. The pool rests in a clearing near the tree line, a still rectangle of water mirroring sky and branches above. On summer evenings, the stone deck warms under the fading sun, fireflies rise between the trees, and music drifts softly from the house. It feels like a place built for memory, simple, open, and gentle. The house is closed in a soft silence, where the last light of the day rests on the wood, on the stone, and on the moments that have become part of this land. Every detail is simple but soulful, as if this place was built to preserve peace, rather than to show anything else. And away from the quiet of his Texas ranch, we enter his other world, a Spanish bungalow in the heart of Hollywood, where sunlight and memories create a completely different rhythm of life. Spanish bungalow in Hollywood. The first thing you notice is the soft glow. As the sun sinks behind Hollywood's hills, Don Henley's Spanish-style bungalow lights up gently behind its lush garden. White stucco walls hold the last warm light, while the clay tile roof and arched windows give the place the quiet charm of an old, carefully kept retreat. Tall desert trees and flowering vines frame the doorway, making the house feel tucked away. A hidden corner where Don could breathe after long tours and late studio nights. Step through the small wooden gate and you're surrounded by greenery. Lavender, succulents, palms, and sculpted shrubs fill the garden beds. The path leads directly to the arched front door, glowing warmly from inside. Inside, the tone shifts to bright, airy simplicity. The living room opens wide with white walls and rich wooden floors, letting sunlight spill in from every side. A soft cream sofa sits in front of a tiled fireplace, surrounded by built-in shelves filled with ceramics, books, and quiet details. A round mirror above the mantel reflects the whole space, making it feel even larger. Everything is clean, minimal, and peaceful. A room that invites you to sit down, breathe out, and enjoy the silence. Through an archway is the dining room, anchored by a glass table and wooden chairs. Tall windows pull in morning light, and a modern black pendant lamp adds contrast to the gentle white room. This leads naturally into a sunroom that feels like the heart of the house. Arched French doors line the walls, opening to the garden and filling the space with soft, golden light. With a glass desk and cozy armchairs, it's easy to imagine Don writing here, lyrics, notes, thoughts, with the breeze drifting through the open doors. The kitchen continues the bright theme: white cabinets, a large island, warm wood stools, and stainless steel appliances. Dark blue-green tiles behind the counter add a cool, modern touch. Everything feels fresh, functional, and ready for slow breakfasts or late-night snacks. Nearby, the second living area opens directly to the backyard. At night, the French doors glow warmly as the interior light spills onto the patio. Two woven ottomans, a soft couch, and simple decor make this room a comfortable transition between inside and outside. The bedrooms follow the same clean aesthetic: white walls, warm wood, modern furniture, and calm lighting. The primary bedroom includes sleek black built-in closets, soft bedding, and windows that catch gentle morning sun. Guest rooms stay simple and welcoming, with geometric tables, gold accents, and soft fabrics. The bathroom is a standout, a bright white space with a freestanding tub, glass shower, and modern abstract art. The room feels like a spa, clean, fresh, and designed for long, quiet baths. Outside, the backyard transforms the home into a hidden oasis. Towering bamboo lines the fence, lit from below to create a soft glow across the lawn. A wooden dining table sits under the open sky, making the yard perfect for dinners, gatherings, or solitary evenings. This is the most peaceful part of the home, the area where Don could relax, think, or simply be still. With its Spanish architecture, Hollywood location, thoughtful renovations, and lush gardens, the home easily reaches a multi-million-dollar value today. More importantly, it carries the rhythm of Don Henley's quieter moments, a place where music rested, memories settled, and life slowed down just enough to feel real again. And behind that peaceful space are the cars that have stayed with him, vehicles that not only carried Don across long roads, but also reflected the simple, thoughtful rhythm of life he chose for himself. Car collection. The first time Don eased himself into the seat of the Cadillac Escalade, he felt the world slow down. The cabin was quiet like a recording studio, thick leather absorbing every sound. He often uses this car to travel to events, interviews, and long drives into town because it gives him the comfort and privacy he needs before stepping back into the public eye. Underneath, the Escalade carries a 6.2-liter V8 pushing 420 horsepower, giving it a smooth but commanding pull on open roads. Today, the car is worth around $70,000, and to Don, the car is like a space separate from the outside world. And when the polished city nights fade into the raw work of ranch life, his world shifts just as smoothly into a different kind of vehicle. He keeps a Ford F-150 Platinum for real work, the muddy days, the storm-heavy mornings, the long checks along the fence line. The first day he drove it was right after a rainstorm, the air still cool, the ground soft, and a ranch hand sitting in the passenger seat as they rolled through the property. The car's current value is around $60,000, and more than that, the Ford F-150 Platinum is perfectly suited to the quiet life on the farm, where durability, reliability, and steady strength matter more than anything else. The two cars reflect Don's balanced lifestyle, one for his public appearances, one for his quiet retreats. They are different, but both speak to the simple lifestyle he strives for. And now, we shift to the larger picture, the wealth he has built, the investments behind his lifestyle, and the assets that shape his quiet world. Income and net worth. Don Henley's money story does not begin with the millions. It begins with the kind of pay that barely covered gasoline, cheap bar gigs in Texas, where a young drummer earned enough for a meal and a ride home, nothing more. But those nights built the rhythm that would eventually carry him into one of the highest-earning careers in American music. Everything changed when the Eagles took flight. As the band climbed the charts, the money poured in at a pace no one from small-town Gilmer could have imagined. Album sales became the foundation. And not just any sales, but the kind that rewrote history. Hotel California, Desperado, Life in the Fast Lane. These songs turned into a permanent revenue engine. Royalties, publishing rights, and writer credits became Don's long-term backbone, generating steady income every year, whether he was on stage or at home on the ranch. That pipeline alone would have allowed most artists to retire comfortably. Then came the touring era, the real financial earthquake. The Eagles' reunion in 1994 launched one of the most profitable cycles in concert history: stadium shows. Multi-night arenas, ticket prices that climbed into the hundreds. Each tour added tens of millions of dollars to the band's collective fortune, and Henley, as a founding member and songwriter, took one of the largest shares. Even a single major tour today can bring in enough to buy entire acres of his Texas land several times over. His solo career added a quieter stream, but a powerful one. Hit albums like The End of the Innocents, radio staples that continue to generate royalties, and lucrative publishing deals that reward every play, every cover, every documentary cue. Add in commissions, performance fees, and long-running licensing agreements, and the numbers keep stacking. Outside of music, Henley's money grows in ways fans rarely see. He invests in land. The Texas ranch where he lives is both a sanctuary and a high-value asset. Real estate, conservation projects, and long-term holdings tie his financial world directly to the lifestyle he protects. Quiet mornings by the lake, acres of untouched pines, and the freedom to live far from noise advertising, image rights, and occasional brand partnerships bring in secondary income, though he never centered his career around them. What he did instead was choose projects aligned with his values: environmental work, political advocacy, and philanthropic commitments. Decisions supported by a fortune that reached $250 million. Today, Don Henley's income is not just a number on a ledger. It is the power behind the life he has built, The land he preserved, the privacy he earned, and the ability to step away from the world whenever the noise gets too loud. His financial story is not loud or flashy. It is steady, intentional, and tied to the music that made everything possible. And from that stable fortune, something deeper emerged. Now let's take a look at the philanthropic activities he has quietly built over the years. Philanthropy. In 1993, he founded the Caddo Lake Institute, investing more than $1 million of his own money over the years. The institute worked to fight pollution, restore wetlands, and study the water's health. Locals still recall the day scientists arrived with new testing equipment funded by Don. Equipment that allowed fishermen to continue earning a living without fear of contamination. His mission later widened into a cause that would define his legacy, the Walden Woods Project. Through concerts, partnerships, and fundraising, Don helped raise more than $30 million to protect the historic woods around Henry David Thoreau's home in Massachusetts. More than 170 acres of endangered land have been preserved, and the Education Center welcomes thousands of students each year. Music education has also remained close to his heart. Over the years, he has donated more than $500,000 to public school music programs, funding instruments, scholarships, and teacher support. When Hurricane Harvey devastated Texas in 2017, Don quietly stepped in again. He donated over $100,000 to rebuilding efforts, focusing on rural communities, often overlooked in national coverage. Families who lost everything were provided housing, meals, and essential supplies. His giving is not loud. It is steady, grounded, and born from deep responsibility. And after all those quiet but meaningful contributions, he returns to his own rhythm, where family, simple habits, and peaceful moments have more influence than any spotlight. Personal life. Don Henley's life today moves in a gentle, steady rhythm. The kind of pace a man earns after decades of noise, travel, and bright stages. He lives in Dallas with his wife, Sharon, the woman who has been the quiet center of his world since they married in 1995. Their 3 children are grown now, each carving their own path, but they remain close. It is common for the house to fill with familiar laughter on weekends, someone stopping by for dinner or a long conversation stretching late into the evening. Most mornings, Don starts slow. He prefers the calm before the day wakes up. Coffee on the patio, the Texas air still cool, and the view of his trees shifting gently in the breeze. Sometimes he reads. Sometimes he listens to old records. Often, he just sits in silence, a habit he has grown to treasure. Music still lives in his routine, but in a quieter form. He no longer spends every day in a studio, yet he keeps a small workspace where he writes ideas, hums melodies, and sorts through thoughts that may or may not turn into songs. He enjoys this freedom. No deadlines, no hurry, just creation when it feels right. Sharon remains his closest companion. They take short trips together, usually to places that offer quiet rather than spectacle. A few days by the water, a retreat in the mountains, a visit to see friends who have known them for years. She has been open about her health journey, and Don is devoted to making life gentle and steady for them both. Their days together are simple: shared meals, long drives, planning small family gatherings, but they mean more to him now than any applause ever did. He keeps a tight circle of friends, the kind who have stayed through decades. They visit for dinner, join him for walks on the property, or sit with him in the living room while old stories resurface. These friendships, built over time and tested by life, are part of what keeps him grounded. In recent years, Don has also found comfort in the land. Whether at his Dallas home or his ranch in East Texas, he spends time outdoors, walking the trails, checking on the trees, standing by the water. Nature is where he resets. It reminds him of his roots and gives him the quiet space he needs. Don Henley's life now revolves away from the spotlight and more around the quiet of Texas, where family, memories, and the values he has held dear for decades are at the center of everything. Simple, quiet, yet profound, that is the world he chooses to live in today. If you want to continue discovering the stories behind the lives of music legends, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. Leave a comment on who you want us to tell next.